What's up, guys? Tuga here, and today we begin the Season 7 sim with the Nordiques. Yeah, I know, it's Season 7 already. Pretty crazy. Obviously, the last few episodes were also, and could really be defined as crazy, as we really shook this team up. I also made one more trade. As suggested, he'll stick out like a sore thumb. Seth Moses, an enforcer. Someone suggested we try an enforcer, so we did. We gave up a prospect and I think 3 7th-round picks. I will go check for sure. But we're going to have him in the lineup. He is the best enforcer, believe it or not. He is the best enforcer at a 72 overall. But, you know, getting Nolan Patrick, getting Pete Gerby in particular was pretty controversial. And I'll say this. As far as realism goes, if you watch the first few seasons, I tried. But it's a combination of wanting this team to be competitive and to actually win, and having viewers say, hey, you know, go get someone like Matthew Tkachuk, which was suggested way back in the Vancouver series on NHL 16. Not to be defensive, or not like I'm defending, I don't feel like I have to defend myself, but it's just, realism can go out the door very quickly. If you take realism out of the equation, I don't think this team would be anywhere near the playoffs. We never would have had Matthew Tkachuk, Laine, Puljujärvi. Nolan Patrick, you can argue, is realistic. I mean, because as it is, Edmonton finished last in the very first year to draft him and then didn't trade him, which makes no sense. You know, you have McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Nolan Patrick. Kind of ridiculous. The Pete Gerby trade, I don't want to ramble on about this. Has this series been the most realistic? No, it hasn't. But it is what it is. We're going to keep going, and the aim is to win another cup. Evan Tambellini is the one that had to be dropped. And at least now our top line in Cleveland is looking much better. We really needed another left wing down there. So we will see what Moses can do. And yes, we technically have a Jesus and a Moses in the same franchise. But really quickly, let me just double check for you guys what that trade was. And indeed, it was Travis Mann, a prospect, and 3 7th-round picks this year. We actually don't have that many picks outside of the first 3 rounds. But we are good to go. I don't think there was anything else. Oh, captains. Captains really quick, because people like to see this. Captaincy for the Nords, despite getting Nolan Patrick. It is Laine and now Ralph Jarrett over Matt Duchene as alternates with David Savard. He's been our captain since pretty much day one, and he will continue to be our captain. He actually is the only player with a leadership trait. Down in the AHL, J.C. Donovan is the captain with Tiny Walton, a rookie. He has one of the A's, and Luke Glendening has the other. We have wasted enough time on this episode already. Let's get into the sim, because I want to make some progress and I want to see what this team will be. It's been a bit of a rocky preseason, but as always, let's sim. We'll get the first month out of the way. We will sim to this game on November 1st against Montreal. How will we do in the opening month of the season? It's early. It's very early. But we're looking pretty damn good. 6-1. And 2. The New Jersey Devils are pretty trash. We lose to LA, who are a great team. We lose to Anaheim, who are a great team. We lose to New York, not so great. But then we beat Ottawa, who's a great team. So we haven't had the easiest schedule starting off, but I am very happy with how the opening month of the season has gone. Of course, this division will always be close, but it's very nice having Joonas Korpisalo back, on top of course, still having Ty Edmonds. Joonas Korpisalo, only a .900 save percentage though. Ty Edmonds in his 2 games, a .964. But I fully expect Korpisalo to bounce back. He has, of course, all 3 of our losses. He's the main goalie. Though Matthew Tkachuk, 5 points so far, isn't too bad. Nolan Patrick doing well. Is there anybody who isn't doing well? Is the question, I should say. 2 goals from Velarde isn't ideal. That third line, Moses, or the fourth line, Moses, it hasn't been great. He's a -5. I'm willing to stick with it. I will stick with Moses for this entire episode. And we'll see whether or not that works out. And I'll leave that up to you guys as to whether or not we eventually put somebody back in. But we are going to keep up with the sim. I want to get as close to the All-Star break as I can while still keeping this episode somewhat short. So let's sim the entire month of November. Why the hell not? We'll go a month at a time and see how we do. We're off to a hot start. Can we keep it up, though, through November? I said this team was off to a hot start. Needless to say, that was an understatement. 17 wins in 22 games. Through the first 2 months, we lost 2 games the entire month to a pretty solid Islanders team and to a kind of disappointing Oilers team. Disappointing to lose to them. We beat Montreal 3 times in the month. Unbelievable. An unbelievable start. Considering what we have done to this team, we don't have Erik Karlsson anymore. We have a goddamn enforcer in the 4th line. But we are getting it done. I want to take a look at the goalies first to see if Korpisalo bounced back. He's up to a .912 save percentage. All 5 losses are on his record. Ty Edmonds, 4 games, 4 wins, a .937 save percentage. So Korpisalo hasn't been great. Think about that. Korpisalo hasn't been great. And we've still won 17 out of 22 games. On defense, Chuck Jaspers has 10 points. Seth Jones with 19. Chychrun with 6. 8 for Savard. Defensively, Ralph Jarrett with 13. He is getting power play time as well. With Jerry Girardi, who unfortunately missed some time due to injury. Only a couple of games, though. Offensively, Matthew Tkachuk's doing great. Nolan Patrick, 20 points, is doing great. And 21 for Laine. That is the Patrick Laine we are used to seeing. Not the Patrick Laine we got in the playoffs. Pete Gerby, 16 points. Not too bad. 16 for Lutzer, who's up to a 91. He might not... I mean, he's still listed as a second-line forward, so it's very clear he is more of a two-way forward. But I'm fine with that, because he'll be happy with his playing time. He's not going to be an Essa Hall type, and if you guys don't know who I mean by that, go watch the Vancouver series. I promise it's only half terrible. Joking. It's magnificent. Go watch it. So at least you know who this random guy is that I keep mentioning. Regardless, he's doing great. Puljujarvi's doing great. Alvin Dahlman, 13 points on the 3rd line. Not bad. Passy Hall is with Gabe Vilardi, who's up to 7 points. Abramov with 6. Stenlund, we actually dropped down because I really want Hall and Vilardi to get the playing time. And in the past, we've seen Abramov and Stenlund have some pretty damn good chemistry. But Seth Moses, he isn't killing the team. He was a 2nd-round pick of Toronto. So in a way, I really do want to hold on to him until the playoffs, and then hopefully he can punch Austin Matthews right in the mouth. And we can win that series. But let's see here. 22 games in. Let's sim one more month. I don't know. Should I just go all the way to the All-Star break? You know what? I'm going to do that, guys, because I like to structure that. As we go to the All-Star break, trade deadline episode / end-of-season episode, and then we get into the playoffs. Why waste time in the regular season dragging it out to 3 episodes? So we are going to sim the entire month of December, Merry Christmas, and then January all the way to January 22nd against the New York Islanders. Apparently, we play a game the same night they're holding... Oh, my God. EA, come on, EA. Apparently, that's the All-Star game this year, is the QC Nordiques against the Islanders. That's the All-Star game. Oh, my God. 44 games into Season 7, and I can proudly say that the Nordiques are for real. 34-6-4 on the season. Again, I can't remember. What was our best win record with this team? Vancouver, what they did. We have a real shot here to set the record for the most wins I've ever had in a season here on YouTube. November was a great month for us. We lost to Nashville. That was our only clean loss of the month. And then in January, we've only lost 2 games so far. Ty Edmonds actually started the Anaheim game and both Buffalo games, so he went 2 for 3. And then we lost to Colorado. But yeah, up next is the All-Star game against the New York Islanders. That is so dumb. That is so bad and so dumb, but it is what it is. The Islanders, though, are not too far behind. It's a two-horse race. We have a hell of a lead on them. But yeah, the Islanders are a pretty goddamn good team. I figured we'd just be running away with it. They have played 3 more games than we have, though. But things are looking incredible for us. We have the lead for the President's Trophy right now. 3 games at hand on LA. And we are 6 points up. 81.8 point percentage. Unbelievable. We are second in goals scored, 1 behind the Vancouver Canucks of all teams. I wonder if Erik Karlsson is helping them out. We are the best defensive team, 88 goals against so far. Very, very far behind. Our power play percentage, I should say, is decent. Definitely in the top half of things. And our penalty kill percentage is about mid-table from the looks of it. But yeah, this team is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. We'll take a look, though. And we've been dealing with injuries as well. First things first, though, I do want to take a look at the goaltending. 34 games for Korpisalo, 26, 5-2, a 9.15 goals against average, and a 9.27 save percentage with 3 shutouts. That is the goalie that we all know and love. Ty Edmonds, 10 games played, a 1.98 goals against average, an 8-1 record. He must have came on in relief in one of those games. But yeah, 9.31 save percentage for him and a shutout. So absolutely incredible there. Defensively, Seth Jones has 36 points in 44 games. Is that the best he has ever done? He had 51 points a few years ago, but of course he is on pace to absolutely smash that, which would be lovely. He is a plus 26. Ralph Jarrett has 34 points. He's on the top line power play with Jones, and it's working. He's a plus 16. Chuck Jaspers. Say what you want about that move, and we will see how Karlsson did. And much like Toffoli or Alex Wenberg, I imagine he's doing great. But 20 points from Jaspers. I'm happy. He's also a plus 24. Chychrun, not too bad. 5 goals and 7 assists for 12 points. David Savard, 11. Again, not too terrible for a defensive D-man. Jerry Girardi missed 2 games, but he has 9 points on the season. I'm loving the plus-minus department for this team. And Michael Paliota played 2 games when Girardi went down. Forwards, though, this is where business really picks up. Puljujarvi, 40 points in 44 games, a plus 21. Laine, 39 points, a plus 22. Nolan Patrick at 38 points with a plus 21. Our big names are delivering. Pete Gerby's up to a 90, for God's sakes. Alvin Dahlman's missed some time, but he's on the second power play unit. He has 25 points. This year, Isaac Lutzer, 25 points. Then you have Stenlund and Esa Hall at 17. Disappointingly, only 10 points for Gabe Vilardi. And that's something, I'll scroll down to the bottom here. That's something that's been crucial for us in this series. And when talking about, and I'll actually jump back to that screen because I want to look at the league scoring. That's the reason why the series has, in a way, been unrealistic, is because our draft luck, if you think about it, has been absolute shit. We have 2 players that we have drafted. 2. We have Isaac Lutzer and Gabe Vilardi. Lutzer was a huge hit for us. Vilardi hasn't done anything. We traded for Passy Hall. Sure, we could have drafted him. We signed Dahlman. Traded for Puljujarvi, Laine, Kachuk, Gerby, Patrick. Abramov and Stenlund were already here. And of course, they've just been 4th line staples, though, despite Abramov having low top 6 potential. Seth Moses, of course, who we signed. Let me know what we should do with him. Let me know. He's only a -3 and he has 1 point. Should we leave the big man in there? But even on defense, we had Seth Jones already. We had Savard. We traded for Chychrun. We had Ralph Jarrett. Actually, it was Ralph Jarrett a pick. Ralph Jarrett was a pick. We have 3 picks of ours in the lineup right now. 3. That's been a big part of the reason as to why this series hasn't really gone the most realistic way. in the AHL, like, things are looking up right now. We're getting some decent progression. Kallio, Donovan, Matthews, like, these players are progressing, and I hope that continues. They're not having the best year, and of course they've been affected by our injuries. But yeah, we've just had really terrible luck. I mean, it's bad enough right now. We don't have a prospect goalie in the system. We don't need him because of Korpisalo. But that's definitely been a contributing factor to how this series has panned out. And in the last few years, we need to just have better luck in terms of progression. I should say, though, and yeah, it's still on my mind, wait for the next series. Wait for the Bruins series and beyond. Because remember, I've put hours, guys. Hours upon hours to the point where I would be embarrassed to say, or embarrassed to really know just what that number is of hours I've put into editing these rosters. And remember, when that's good to go, there will be a video detailing all of it. A Bruins series will follow up with that. And after this series is over, of course, my next series will be decided by you guys, as it always is. But as we wrap up this episode, I want to look. Michael Dowcall, who we, of course, traded to Vancouver, has 53 points so far. I mean, personally, I don't know. It's tough to say. I'm obviously happy with Patrick and Lutzer. I mean, Dowcall was really not doing well for us when we traded him. Erik Karlsson has 35 points. Again, not terrible. So think of it that way. You know, Vancouver, in a way, could still be kind of competing. So maybe, and they have Julius Bergman as well down there. I forgot that we traded him. I'm not going to try to rationalize it. Bottom line is, this team is performing to an incredible level, and if Vancouver actually had a goaltender, they might be decent. The Nords are performing to an absolutely incredible level, and obviously I hope for that to continue. Dowcall leads the league in points. Oh my God. But yeah, there are some names up there, but this team overall is just dominating right now. And I don't think I would change a thing, aside from, of course, maybe taking the Enforcer out of there. Rookie of the Year right now, it's actually kind of a close race, which is surprising. And that's a big problem. Again, I added to people. Jared Anderson-Dolan, it won't take him that long to be a rookie. I've made my point. The Nordiques have made their point, because we are on top of the NHL world right now. And in the next episode, we will hope for that to continue. Apparently, Ty Edmonds is still categorized as a rookie goalie, so maybe we'll play him a little bit more, although I don't think he's going to beat out some of those skaters for Rookie of the Year. That is it for this one, guys. Of course, in the next episode, we will go through the rest of Season 7, and if this episode has been any indication, it could be a very, very good year for us here in Quebec City. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, let me know down in the comments below, or of course, feel free to support the channel. I haven't said it in a while. You know, hey, leave a like. It helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't already. That also helps me out. And yeah, that's it, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.